With about 3 billion players worldwide, video games are big business. Their popularity has caught the attention of Hollywood, where more games are being turned into movies and TV shows. That includes the new hit show, The Last of Us, based on a popular game, which I feel like is the best game ever, and now one of HBO's most watched shows ever. Carter Evans sat down with the co-creator of the game and the show to find out how the gripping story made the transition to TV so successfully.
Are you serious? Just keep going!
The Last of Us is about surviving in a post-apocalyptic world. But the heart of the story goes much deeper, exploring the bond between a parent and child. The saga begins with Joel suffering a tragic loss and follows his mission 20 years later to save a teenage girl named Ellie.
I'm not supposed to be here!
It's a multi-layered storyline, adapted from, of all places, a video game. A game that's more Spielberg than Pac-Man and has captivated players for a decade.
Don't tell anybody about your condition.
You see that bite mark?
They think you're crazy, they'll try to kill you.
Now that same story,
And lastly, you do what I say.
When I say it, we clear?
is resonating with a different audience.
I'm waiting for a piano to follow me or something because it just feels too good to be true.
Neil Druckmann is co-president at Naughty Dog Productions and the creator, writer, and executive producer of The Last of Us, both the series and the game.
I think when non-gamers think about video games, they think about Super Mario Brothers, they think about the kids playing Fortnite. Explain to non-gamers how a video game can have a storyline like a movie.
What's special about games is they can encompass all other art that you know. You could put a whole novel inside a game. You could put a whole movie inside the game. But a game also has this interactive element beyond that.
Good storytelling is good storytelling, period.
I need something smuggled out of the city.
Merle Dandridge starred as rebel group leader Marlene in the game and reprises that role in the series.
Because you have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
When you started out performing for this game, did you ever imagine it would turn into a series?
You can't predict how far it's going to go, but I knew it was going to have an impact.
Do you think this may encourage people to want to try the game?
I certainly think this will make people reconsider their opinions about video games. And this, I think, is a great signal to the ether, to the zeitgeist, to let them know that some of the most wonderful storytelling is happening in video games.
I'm looking for Robert. You come through here?
What is it about storytelling in video games that makes it unique?
There are several things that make it unique, one of which is that feeling of control, the player wanting to be involved.
Evan Skolnick wrote the book on this topic and spearheads the game writing program at University of Silicon Valley, where the emphasis is on storytelling.
The crossover of a storyline in a game to movies hasn't always been successful. Why do you think that is?
In almost all games, the main attraction is not the story, it's the gameplay, right? The story often is in a support role, enhancing the gameplay, contextualizing it. How well does it stand up all by itself?
This way!
Some games are very well suited to that, but others, they need more work.
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, a box office success. Mortal Kombat and Assassin's Creed, not so much.
How do you think adapting The Last of Us to a TV series worked out?
I think it's working out amazing because Neil Druckmann was the writing lead on the game and he's the writing lead on the series. So you have that continuity.
By Monday, everything was gone.
And then you also have the fact that The Last of Us game was very cinematic. And so it did feel like you were in a movie or a TV show. And the emphasis on story was very strong.
The Last of Us is one example of a growing trend of compelling chronicles jumping from computer code to live action.
Master Chief?
Another is Halo, adapted from a military science fiction game of the same name and last year's most watched show on Paramount Plus, part of the same parent company as CBS. Halo Season 2 is now in the works. These popular games come with a built-in fan base, an audience fiercely loyal to the original characters and story.
You have to honor the material, honor what came before it, but accept that you have to change certain things because you're playing in a different medium that has different strengths and weaknesses. We're trying to tell the same story that we had in the game, and sometimes we'll deviate and go on these tangents, but we come back to the same message, the same soul of the game. I remember when I first kind of walked on set, and I'm standing in Joel's house, and I couldn't believe it. And to be surrounded by a crew that has studied the game meticulously and wanted to do right by it, I could feel the love for the material, and I was overwhelmed.
So which do you like better, directing video games or directing TV?
It's like asking which kid do you like better.
Stop.
For CBS Mornings,
Are we gonna help him?
No, he ain't even hurt.
I'm Carter Evans in Los Angeles.
People love this show.
Oh,
Nate.
they love the show, and I
Tell
love
us
the
why.
game.
Yeah,
so,
tell us
you know,
why.
I would play the game with my sons. It's a way that we bond. And I remember playing and thinking to myself, this would make a great movie.
Yeah.
So when we saw the trailer, my son sent it to me while he was in school. I was like, shouldn't you be studying? He was like, Dad, the trailer's out, the show's coming soon. And it is a really good show.
I mean, storytelling is storytelling, right? It doesn't make a difference whether it's in a video game or on a big screen.
That's right. And you're seeing it more and more often. These video games become extremely popular, and then these companies want to benefit off of that by making movies and TV shows. And this one is an absolute hit.
So you have an idea, and there it is.
There it
This
is.
could be a movie.
could
And
be a
now
movie.
it's a movie.